bằng 45. Yes, I enjoy riding in cars. Yes, I enjoy riding in the cars. Yes, I enjoy riding in cars, although I don't do it very often. When I do, I have when I do have the opportunity, I like to relax and rest, often chatting with my friends during the ride. I prefer to own a car. I prefer to own a car. I prefer to own a small car because it's easier to park. Additionally, it's more fuel efficient and fits better in my garage. Fits better in my garage. Fits better in my garage. I think owning a car will become more popular in the future. I enjoy riding in cars because it's refreshing. I ride in a car almost every day because I commute to work by car. I prefer to own a small car because it's easier to park. Also, I can save money on gas. I think owning a car will become less popular in the future for two reasons. First, the public transportation is constantly improving, constantly improving, offering convenient and cost-effective alternatives to owning a car. Cost-effective alternatives to owning a car. Second, many people these days work from home, so they don't need to commute regularly. These are a reason. I use my mobile phone frequently during the day. I mainly use it for I mainly use it to communicate with friends and family and to get information online. I have been using their service for 5 years and I am satisfied because they offer high quality services at a lower price. I am satisfied with I think the best way to review mobile phone companies in my area is to visit related blogs, and here is why. First, many blogs provide detailed reviews. Many blogs provide detailed blogs. Many blogs are many blogs many blogs many blogs many blogs provide detailed reviews, which help me compare plans and services easily. Second, blogs are very convenient, and because they are always available online, I can quickly check them anytime to get the latest information. That's why I think this is the best way. My favorite hobby is working out at the gym, and I often use the internet to learn about the new exercises. Yes, I do, because I can learn useful tips or new skills when I interact with them. I would like to see exercise videos on the internet, and here is why. First, watching videos are more fun than reading message boards or stories. They include images and sounds. Second, videos are easier to understand, so I don't have to read a lot of text. I can just watch what to do. That's why I prefer exercise videos. My favorite hobby is cooking. I have sometimes used the internet to learn about it. I usually search for video tutorials. I usually search for video tutorials. Yes, I love meeting people in the same hobby because they can share ideas and I can learn new things. Because they can share ideas and I can learn new things. Also, I enjoy making new friends. I would like to see videos about my hobby the most on the internet. Because at first, as I mentioned, I usually search for video tutorials on the internet because I can understand things more clearly. Second, I can follow along and practice that when watching the videos, which helps me learn faster. I have lived in my area for 5 years, and I know about it very well. I last took a short trip in my area a week ago, and I used train, is cheap and punctual. It's cheap and punctual. I think the West Lake is a good nature site to take a short trip in this area. And here is why. First, the West Lake has a beautiful scenery and it is not crowded with many people. It is not crowded with many people. So you can enjoy walking there. Second, you can ride a bicycle there. They offer a bike rental service for free. I am sure you will love that place. I have lived in about 2 different places. I have lived in an apartment when I was an university student. When I live there, I like the culture. Most people in my area live in houses because houses are more spacious. Also, houses give more privacy. Spacious. I would prefer to live in an apartment in a quiet area. First, I want peace and quiet so I can sleep better at night. Second, I can hear birds and nature, which helps me enjoy daily life. In addition, it gives me more freedom and less stress. That's why I think it's a better option. I have lived in 5 different places in my life, and all of them were apartments. There, yes, most of them live in apartments because I live in a large city and there are not many houses in this area. In that case, I would prefer an apartment in the city center, and here is why. First, I can use convenient transportation system. For instance, there are many bus stops and train stations in the city compared to quiet rural areas. Quiet rural areas. Second, a quiet area will get me more bored. Bored. I can I can live in a lively atmosphere with many people and various facilities. So this is why I have been I have been in this area since I was a student. I know this area quite well. I usually visit local cafes when I have free time. I have lived I have been living in this area since I was a student, which is about 10 years now. I know this area quite well as I frequently explore local cafes and parks in my free time. I have worked in this area for 5 years and I know this well. I have worked in this area for 5 years and I know it well. And I know it well. I am familiar with the streets, local businesses, and transportation. I don't have a car. No, I don't think it is difficult for you because this area has a good transportation system such as trains or buses. Sure, I recommend Central Chinese restaurant in this area for you and your co-workers, and here's why. First, they offer high quality food made by professional chefs. Also, chefs. Also, they use fresh ingredients only. Second, they provide dishes at reasonable prices. Also, you don't need to spend much money for your meal. I am sure you will like that restaurant. The last time I bought a plant was last month, and I have it in my living room. Yes, I enjoy shopping for plants because growing plants is one of my favorite hobbies. Plants, 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 plants. I enjoy shopping for plants because growing plants is one of my favorite hobbies. I would choose new plants based on two I would choose new plants based on two main factors. First, I choose plants that match my home style and colors because they help make my home look beautiful and natural. Second, I want plants that are easy to care for. I don't have a lot of time for watering and other plant care. That's why I think so. I travel by taxi once or twice per week, and I usually take a taxi to my work. When I am late, I usually take it. In that case, I would prefer to do something else because if I read the newspaper, I will get car sick. There are some advantages of traveling by taxi. First, it's time saving because I can get to my destination directly. Buses or trains usually go through many stops and stations. Second, it's more comfortable and because I don't need to travel with other passengers. So these are the advantages of traveling by taxi. Taxis. 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 I think most of them have internet access in their homes, and there are several internet providers in my area. At home, I would use it for something else like playing games or downloading movies because I don't usually work at home. Yes, the quality of customer service is a very important consideration for me, and here's why. First, good customer service makes me feel valued because friendly and supportive staff improve my overall experience. Second, reliable support saves me time and effort. When I have issues, they will quickly fix technical problems. That's why I think so. When I go to a clothing store, I usually take a train because there are many train stations in this area. The last time I bought new exercise clothes was yesterday. I bought sweatshirts and pants. I recommend that you visit the Vincom Mega Mall. Vincom Mega Mall. Mega Mall, and here's why. First, its location is very convenient, so you can get there easily by bus or train. Second, the mall offers a variety of products. The mall offers a variety of products. The mall offers a variety. The mall The mall offers a variety of products, giving you how many options to choose from. So, for these reasons, I recommend the Vincom Mega Mall. My favorite board game is chess. My favorite board game is chess. And the last time I played it was about 1 month ago. It was fun. No, I spend less time playing board game these days. I spend less time playing board games these days because I'm busy with my studies. No, I've never given a board game to someone as a gift. And here's why. First, it's not practical because not everyone enjoys playing a board game. So it would be useless for someone who doesn't like them. Second, board games are not very popular nowadays, since most of people prefer mobile games. That's why I think so. I've known my best friends for about 5 years. We met in high school because we studied in the same class. Because we studied in the same class. We studied in the same class. We studied in the same class. Yes, I spent a lot of time with my best friend because we live close to each other and have many common interests. I think a sense of humor is more important as a friend. First, humor makes conversations more enjoyable and it helps build a stronger bond. When friends can laugh together, it brings them closer. Second, humor can make difficult situations less stressful. It makes both people feel better and helps them deal with problems in a more relaxed way. That's why I think so. I prefer smaller park in a playground because the playground keeps kids happy and also it's safe for kids. I go to the park about once or twice a week. The nearest park is just a 10 minutes walk from my home. I prefer large parks with walking paths because they offer more space to explore and enjoy nature, I also like taking a walk. I prefer large parks with walking paths because they offer more space to explore and enjoy nature. I also like taking a walk. There are some disadvantages of living next to a park. There are some disadvantages of living next to a park. First, it can be very noisy. People go to the park to play, exercise, or have picnics, which can be loud, especially on weekends or holidays. Second, there's less privacy because the park can be crowded and people may walk by your house often. That's why I think so. May walk by your house often. I've lived in my current home. I've lived in my current home for about 3 years. I don't plan to move soon because I'm happy with my place and its location. One advantage of living in a house is more space. You have a bigger yard. More rooms. Bigger yard. Yard. You have a bigger yard. More rooms. You have a bigger yard. Rooms, more rooms, and more privacy than in an apartment. I would prefer an apartment with a parking area for 2 reasons. First, it's very convenient. I can park my car safely without worrying about finding a spot. This makes my daily routine much easier. Second, it saves time, especially in busy areas. Parking can be hard to find, so having a spot nearby is very helpful. That's why I think so. The last time I bought sports equipment was last month. I bought new running shoes because my old ones were worn out. The nearest sports equipment store is about a 10-minute walk from my house. I usually go there every few months when I need new gear or want to see if there are any sales. Yes, I might be more likely to buy a brand if a famous athletic advertises it. There are 2 reasons. First, I tend to trust the athlete's opinion because they are experts. They know what products are good for their sport, so they likely use high-quality items. Second, It makes the brand seem more reliable. This can brands this can give me a more confidence when making my decision. That's why I think so. I watch television about once a week, and it's less than before. And it is less than before. I don't have that much spare time these days. I prefer to watch dramas because they are more fun. It is a good way to relieve stress and relax. Sure, I recommend the drama The Lawyers for two reasons. First, its story is fun and humorous, but at the same time you will have a chance to think about what you value in life. Second, the main character is very attractive and appealing, and her acting is great. I bet you will like it. I don't travel to visit a bakery because I always buy baked goods on the internet. As I said, I don't visit a bakery in person, but if I went there, I would go with my friends because shopping alone is extremely boring. Extremely boring. When choosing a bakery, I believe the freshness of the products is the most important aspect. And here is why. First, fresh products taste better. They have a sharp, soft texture and rich flavor that make your experience more satisfying. Second, they are made with high-quality ingredients, which means they're healthier for you. That's why I think so. In that case, I would use the public transportation because it is cheaper and I don't need to drive. I will search for information on the internet because I can compare many options and choose the right ones for me. A lot of storage space is the most important factor to me, and here is why. First, I usually bring many pieces of luggage when traveling. Also, I buy souvenirs and gifts for friends and family, so I need enough space to store them in the car. Also, I am not that interested in the other two, that's all. I visited a hotel about 3 months ago in Hanoi, and I stayed there for 2 nights. I prefer a small privately owned hotel. I prefer a small privately owned hotel because it is cheaper than a big chain hotel. This allows me to save money and do more exercise, do more activities while traveling. I think the transportation service from the airport is the most important quality of a hotel, and here's why. First, it saves guests money by reducing its travel expenses. Second, a free shuttle makes traveling easier, especially for those carrying heavy luggage. It makes their trip more enjoyable. That's why I think so. The last time I bought a backpack was about 2 months ago. I bought it as a present for my friend. I think the most important factor when buying a bag is durability. Durability. If a bag is durable, you can use it for a long time, so it's cost effective. I think the best place to buy a bag in my area is the Vincom Mega Mall, and here is why. First, its location is very convenient because you can easily get by there by bus or train. Second, the mall offers a wide range of brands, giving you many options to choose from. For these reasons, I recommend the Vincom Mega Mall. I think the best place to buy a bag in my area is the Vincom Mega Mall, and here is why. First, its location is very convenient because you can easily get there by bus or train. Second, the mall offers a wide range of brands, giving you many options to choose from. For these reasons, I recommend the Vincom Mega Mall. I think the transportation service from the airport is the most important quality of a hotel. First, it saves guests money. By reducing travel expenses. Second, a free shuttle makes traveling easier, especially for those carrying heavy luggage. It makes their trip more enjoyable. That's why I think so. A lot of storage space is the most important factor to me, and here is why. First, I usually bring many pieces of luggage when traveling. Also, I buy souvenirs and gifts for friends and family, so I need enough space to store them in the car. Also, I am not that interested in the other two. That's all. Interested in the other two.